Welcome everybody back to Rapid Fire. Fernando Ramirez, Gilbert Manzano. Gilbert, Rapid Fire obviously is a lot of fun because we get to discuss the NFL as a whole and what are the topics that are hot and what we think about it. So, right here, we'll talk a little bit about the AFC South three-way tie. Offensive Player of the Year. Is it an NFC player or an AFC player? Sean Payton laying down the smack down on Russell Wilson and Jake Browning. We're going to talk a little Jake Browning. So we'll get into all that. But first, we have Vic, the producer. Vic, why don't you start us off?
Hello, guys. Well, it's good to be back. We got week 15 of Rapid Fire. Let's start off with a little bit of spiciness here. The now that the Chargers have clean house by firing Brandon Staley and Tom Telesco, which job is more attractive to potential candidates, Chargers or Raiders? By the way, Gilbert, you won last week, so you get to choose who goes first.
Okay, I'm trying to think here. You know what? Chargers or Raiders, what better job? You know what? I'll take this one here. And I will go with the Raiders. I'm still talking very slowly because I'm trying to figure out what to say. And Justin Herbert obviously is a big piece for the Chargers. But the more I think about it, the more I like what Antonio Pierce is doing with the Raiders. They already have a good defense, not the best, but a good quality defense. Their running game has been figured out. They got some good rookies. They got Davante Adams. They got Josh Jacobs, I think. I forgot about forget.
He's
Wait.
a free agent after this year.
Yeah, there you go. So, but they paid him this year. But whatever, we'll figure that out for the running thing. But also, you get to live in Las Vegas, no state taxes, but you don't have the franchise quarterback. So that's like a big thing. That's why I'm hesitant here as I talk. But I like what the Raiders are building, and maybe because it's my way to say, you know what, give Pierce a good look at the end of the year. But I go with the Raiders, and in terms of ownership, they're kind of whatever. Maybe you cancel each other out there, but give me the Raiders. Good building blocks in Las Vegas. Why not?
Well, obviously, when you go the one that Gilbert didn't account for is you have Justin Herbert. Obviously,
Yeah,
you have a left tackle in Rashawn Slater. I still think that Derwin James is an elite player. It's just the scheme that he was in asked him to do way too much. You could tell players were frustrated about the defensive scheme. They wanted to change it up. They changed it up in the second half of the Chiefs game, and they were able to neutralize what the Chiefs were doing. So you have some building blocks. I know the cap situation is a little bit whack there, but I mean, a good GM can come in, make some moves, free up some cap, and cut some of the players that obviously need to be cut, need to be traded, or obviously re-signing them. So, I mean, the one thing is going to be Keenan Allen, Khalil Mack. They're up there in age. Are they going to want to come back and try it again with a new head coach, or are they going to want to go somewhere else and try and potentially play for a championship? But if you have Khalil Mack and Keenan Allen, I know they're up there in age, but they're veterans that could still help this team. But I'm looking at the quarterback, and I would go with Justin Herbert all day. I think that he alone makes this job very attractive.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Fernando on this one just because, as you said, you have the quarterback in place. I think the Raiders have been looking for a quarterback for about 20 years now, and they can't seem to figure it out. So I'm going to give you the point there.
Does
I know
Davante
that.
Adams stay, Gilbert?
I think he's having a lot of fun. Well, it depends if they keep Pierce. If
They're smoking in the locker room.
yeah,
Cigars.
yeah, there you go. So they're bringing a new coach he has no idea about. Maybe he wants to leave, but that's why I keep going to Pierce. Like he already has the star players who are happy, like Maxx Crosby. I was hesitant on Josh Jacobs. Maybe he'll come back, maybe he won't, but he's happy too, regardless. And you got Davante, and you have a productive defense with Patrick Graham, doing things there. So why change it? That's why I keep saying, hey, maybe this job might be nice. It sounds easy, but I mean, it's easier said than done. It's difficult to do. Go find a quarterback, and maybe you're okay. But yeah, it's not that easy.
Yeah, and the reason I brought up both of these franchises is because both ownerships haven't figured it
Yeah.
out. That's part of the problem. But
Well, I mean, look, at least the Raiders have been to a Super Bowl in the last 30 years.
that's true. I mean, so have yeah. But
Mhm.
all right. Next one, guys. The AFC South has a three-way tie atop the division, thanks to wins by the Colts and the Texans, plus the Jaguars lost to the Ravens on Sunday Night Football. Who wins the division, and what happens to the other teams?
I go next, Gilbert. You went first in the last one.
Yeah, so don't you go first now?
Yeah. You have to ask me the question.
Oh, wait. Because I asked myself the question in the last one.
Yeah.
There you go, Fernando. Fine. Okay. I am a terrible host here, but the grand question in the AFC South is a three-way tie: Jaguars, Texans, and the Colts. Who's going to win it, Fernando? Simple.
Give me the Colts. Why? The Colts play at Falcons. The Raiders come there, and they finish up with the Texans. I just think that the Texans missing Tank Dell. I think that changes their dynamic a little bit. CJ Stroud still in concussion protocol. The Jaguars have just fallen off completely. They go down in Tampa this week to play my Buccaneers, and I just don't think that they. I don't think they'll have enough to, especially with how banged up they are. And then on top of that, they just haven't looked the same since Charlie Kirk's injury. I know they play the Panthers and then they finish at Titans. At Titans is going to be tough. I mean, the Titans just beat the Miami Dolphins last Monday night. So give me the Colts to win that division. Shane Steichen, first-year head coach, wins a division, takes them to the playoffs. And I know everybody's excited about AR5, but with this building block this team has right now, I think there's a lot of excitement for the future of the Colts, especially with Shane Steichen as the head guy.
I like how the Colts became your team after I left the bandwagon when AR5 got hurt, but now the Texans are my team. Yeah, but you like Minshew, so it kind of is fitting. So my team now is the Texans, CJ Stroud, and I gotta say, Fernando, I don't know how they pulled that out in Tennessee. I picked the Titans to win. They were down 13-0. So that goes back to the coaching. DeMeco Ryan is a special coach. He's building something special there in Houston. So that is my pick. No one's going to pick the Jaguars. A little surprising here, but give me the Texans. The way they pulled it out just tells me things are different there. You get CJ Stroud healthy. I think Nico Collins was close to play, last week, and they did it, and they still won that game. Shout out to Case Keenum, who's been vital for CJ Stroud away from the field. There goes the cat. He also likes CJ Stroud. But they have a tough schedule, Fernando. I think they play the Browns at home, but then after that it gets a little easier. I forget who they play, but then they do have that showdown against the Colts. I want to say in Indy, like you mentioned, week 18. That's going to be for all the marbles.
In
if the Jaguars,
the Titans come there.
Okay, which they just beat, but let's see if they do it again. That's not an easy game, though. But, if they handle business, maybe it comes down to the Colts, but then the Jaguars, who knows what they do there. But give me the Texans to hang around and beat the Browns next week. How about that?
I like that. I'm with you, and I think the most impressive thing about the Texans, Gilbert, has been the defense. I mean, to be able to hold Derrick Henry to, I think it was maybe under 30 yards. I mean, that was pretty impressive. So yeah, I'm with you. I love the Colts, but I just think that final game is going to decide the AFC South, and it's going to come down to I think the Texans winning it. So you get that point. All right, guys. Next one. Who is the offensive player of the year? Christian McCaffrey or Tyreek Hill?
Gilbert, who you got? CMC or Tyreek Hill?
Oh, that's tough. I really like Tyreek Hill, but then he got hurt, and it sucks to go away from him, like for MVP, offensive player of the year because of an injury. And by the way, nobody asked me, but I think the Dolphins might be better in the long run, having to learn how to play a game without Tyreek Hill because they were so reliant on him. But I'm going with Christian McCaffrey. That team is better. He's been productive, durable, getting a bunch of yards. I didn't even keep tabs on how much yards he's doing, but I'm sure it's a lot. He keeps scoring touchdowns. Give me Christian McCaffrey, the best player on the best team. But then I kind of hesitate because Trent Williams is pretty good too. But give me Christian McCaffrey there.
Crap. I hate you.
Okay. I thought you didn't take Tyreek. He was your MVP.
No, heck no. Tyreek Hill. And I'm going to screw myself here. Tyreek Hill against the best team that they faced, Chiefs, 8 for 62. Eagles, 11 for 88. The Bills, 3 for 58. Like, against the Patriots, 5 for 40. Like, it hasn't been all pretty, but I'm going to try and do this. Without the reason why the Dolphins have been winning games because of Tyreek Hill. And I know, obviously, they just won this past weekend, but come on, it was against the Jets. I think that Tyreek Hill has been the best offensive player in the AFC. I think he's done a really good job. Obviously putting up consistent games. Obviously, like I said, I just screwed myself with what I said, but whatever. I think obviously he's putting up a crap ton of yards. He has 1,540 or 1,542, 12 touchdowns. He's been consistent in that. He's gotten in the end zone. Just Against the Titans, he didn't, but everywhere else, he's gotten into the end zone at least once. So that's pretty impressive. And obviously, if they're gonna win, if they're gonna have any chance of going to the Super Bowl, it's gonna be on him. So they need him there, and I think once they get into the playoffs, if they don't have him, that's where everything gets dangerous because he's obviously what makes that engine go. And I don't think two is the same without Tyreek Hill. So yeah, that's my interpretation of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this point to Fernando because of Tyreek Hill. I think what's gonna happen, guys, is that Christian McCaffrey is gonna probably get the MVP, and then they're gonna give Tyreek Hill the Offensive Player of the Year just because nobody has stood out. And like you guys talked about it on the live, it changes. The MVP conversation changes every week, and I think they're gonna probably reward Christian McCaffrey for that. And then if Tyreek Hill still breaks the record for most yards, they're going to give him the offensive player of the year. So, yeah. So, point to you, Fernando, there. All right. Next one, guys. Fair or foul for Broncos head coach Sean Payne to lay into Russell Wilson on the sidelines after not being able to score a touchdown from the 1 yard line.
All right, Fernando. Farrell foul. Sean Payton just screaming at Russell Wilson, even though Sean Payton said it's none of your business what we talk about on the sideline.
Oh, it's fair, 100%. The dude's been well, he hasn't been good this whole season.
Tone it down.
And yeah. He has not been good. And I know he's had some okay games as of late, but the reason why they have been winning is not because of him. It's even because of because of everything else that they've been doing. The defense settled down. I think Joe Lombardi and Sean Payton have put him in a path to succeed. But yesterday, see, that's the reason why I'm questioning the Broncos moving forward. Because when it comes down to it, he's not the guy that's going to lead you and lead a comeback or anything like that. So this isn't the same Russell Wilson that everybody knew back when he was with the Seahawks. This is exactly the Russell Wilson that you're going to get until he retires. So Sean Payton, I'm sure, lost his crap. Obviously, them being down didn't help. So I'm sure he was frustrated with everything. But yeah, no, this is a bad look for Russell Wilson, and I thought it was completely fair of Sean Payton to lay into him because I think Pete Carroll laying into him is what got him to want to leave, also. But yeah, it just not a good look for Russell Wilson. But for Sean Payton, I thought it was 100% fair. I mean, the dude's not doing his job. You have to maybe getting in his ear and yelling at him. Maybe that'll get him to kind of snap out of being a robot and maybe going in there and actually doing something.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree here. It's fair, and people keep forgetting that Sean Payton, was probably really annoyed because the officials. He got screwed over on one of the plays earlier where the guy scored, and the review said clearly that they got the touchdown there, But I think that's more on their part because the coach, nobody informed Sean Payton that was a touchdown, so there was no replay there. But you should probably review it regardless. And he was pretty annoyed about that. And then after that, you fall behind, and it's a big old lead. And then, you got Russell Wilson, who's just kind of playing at a snail's pace there, where like he keeps looking at Cortland Sutton for a bailout, or he's waiting for Sean Payton to call a good running play for him to get a help there. So, yeah, he's making it work with Russell Wilson there. But I think this was kind of another sign that, like, this was a forced marriage. It was more like, okay, let's try it out for a year. And I don't care what you think, Russell Wilson. I don't care how you did it in Seattle or how you did it for 1 year without me. I'm going to be a hard ass. I'm going to do it my way. And this is the way we're going to do it. You're going to keep the ball, protect it, play a little safe. But can you do a little more? I can't keep, holding your hand here. So I think after a while, when they got beat down by the Lions, it boiled over. But credit to them. They've been making it work after a 1-5 record. They kind of went back to their September ways in that game.
Yeah, great points by both of you. But Gilbert, you take this point just because, as you said, I think Sean Payton was more frustrated with not getting the calls and then being informed that, hey, this happened. And then he just took it out on Russell Wilson. And that's why I'm giving you there the point. All right, guys, next one. We're tied up 2-2. Something or nothing for Jake Browning to yell, quote, "You should have never effing cut me," after the Bengals win over the Vikings. For some context here, this was not the same Vikings coaching staff that cut him.
Gilbert, fair or foul what Jake Browning yelled at the Vikings?
Fair. I can't disagree with that. And it happened a long time ago too, and it was a different, coaching staff. And then he also said he admitted to lying which I don't have a big deal about it, saying that it wasn't a big game for him because he doesn't care. Then he ended up saying, I did really care. That team cut me there. And then players from the Vikings kept saying they actually believed in Jake Browning. That they made a mistake. I think they kept Kelly Mond a couple of years back. So there was a lot of bad blood there. At least for him personally, I'm sure the Vikings were like, who were you again? You're on our team. Who cares? But for Jake Browning, it meant everything in the world. So I think it's fine. Whatever helps you, be motivated. You're a backup player who's a little undersized, was undrafted. You're behind Joe Burrow. You finally got your opportunity, and you're balling out. And they've won the last 3 games. They're 3-1 with him as a starter. Hey, whatever works, because you find a way to get T. Higgins and Jamar Chase in the playoffs, you might have a chance. I don't know if they go for a deep playoff run, but to make it to the playoffs after everybody wrote you off, I wrote them off a long time ago. But I'm believing again. That's because of Jake Browning.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with it. I don't think it's anything just because how many, I mean, I think Amon-Ra St. Brown can name every receiver that was taken before him. There's guys that do that all the time and they're motivated. I just think this is you like that 2.0 like Kirk Cousins, but I just don't make anything of it. I mean, it's motivation. Guys have chips on their shoulder and that's what they use to get themselves going. And if this is what Jake Browning uses, then that's great because they were able to they've won a lot of games with Jake Browning now and they look like a playoff team. I don't think Joe Burrow will be back for the playoffs either. So right now he has them in a spot to make it, and nobody ever as soon as Joe Burrow went down, I was about to say Andy Dalton or Carson Palmer. As soon as he went down, everybody said, "Oh, okay, that's it. The Bengals are done." But no, they're not. They're still there, and they're gonna fight until the end. So whatever gets this guy going, whatever makes him feel like he needs to visualize an attack, as they said in the Water Boy, then that's what it is. So kudos to him for it.
Yeah, I'm with you, Fernando. I give you that point just because, hey, any fuel you can use to motivate yourself, you should use that. I don't think it was a bad way to go. I mean, I know some people made a big deal out of it. It's like, why are you bringing it up since that wasn't the same coaching staff? But I'm with you, Fernando, on that one. All right, guys.
Water
Next,
Gatorade's better.
yeah. Next one, guys. Fair or foul for the Tennessee Titans to not only wear the Houston Oilers jerseys, but also paint the Oilers logo on the field versus the Houston Texans.
Love you, blue. That's what the Houston Oilers used to say wearing the jerseys there. I love the jerseys, but Fernando, give me your take. Fair or foul on them wearing the jerseys against the Houston Texans. These Titans, man, they're a little bold there.
Who gives a crap? It's jerseys. Like, get the hell out of here. Are we like JJ? I saw JJ Watt complaining about this, but the Houston Oilers turn into the Titans. They have a lot more history than the Houston Texans do. So just because you move cities doesn't mean anything. So if let's just say in another world, San Diego got another football team and they wanted to use the Chargers throwbacks, no, that's just dumb. So no, we're talking about jerseys. Let's talk about the play on the field. That to me is just incredible. No, I think this is dumb. Who cares? Yeah, let them wear it. I mean, they became the Houston or the Tennessee Titans, so who cares? That's just my opinion, to be honest. But Gilbert, you go ahead.
All right, finally some disagreement. I had to force myself to pick the Raiders and pick Christian McCaffrey. This one I really believe foul. The Houston Texans, that should belong to Houston. Yeah, maybe the Texans shouldn't wear it. I get it, Fernando. It's not the same franchise, but that belongs to Houston. You can't wear that type of baby blue, not powder blue. I got it right. Love you, blue. And against the Titans doing it against Houston just kind of adds salt to the wound. Why are we doing that? They look cool. I like them, but you're the Tennessee Titans, and I don't care that you played a couple years, as the Tennessee Oilers with the uniforms. No. Give it up. No more. You decided to leave. That's like maybe the Baltimore Ravens, wearing the old Cleveland Browns jerseys. Just doesn't make sense. Just kind of keep it the way it is. Keep it history. Put it in a museum. You don't have to play it ever again. It just doesn't feel right to me seeing Will Levis and Derrick Henry and D Hop wearing that against a Houston team.
Yeah, I'm with you, Gilbert. Fernando made some great points there, but I'm with you, Gilbert. Like, why are you?
Jerseys.
It's like you already broke up. I know it's jerseys, but they also put the logo on the field. Like, it's like you're the one that left. Yeah, you're like just trying to rub it into Houston. There, it's just a bad look. Like,
play each other for it.
Yeah.
They should do it if they're going so bold. Go do it when you play the Houston Texans, then Houston.
Yeah, do 2 games and then play for it. Yeah, whoever wins gets to keep it. There you go. What the hell? We're talking about jerseys.
All right, guys, we're all tied up, so we're gonna go a little bit off script here. The Dodgers used a video of Kobe Bryant to sell Shohei Ohtani on signing with them. Who is a person or a company could use to sway you guys to sign with them?
Gilbert, who's a company? What person could a company use to sway you? A famous person, I guess.
Man, I guess if the Kobe video, but you can't have that many videos around, right? But you know what? Just to kind of know you and your brother, because you're not big fans of the Brahma Bull, the People's Champ, The Rock. If you got Dwayne The Rock Johnson in a video, I don't even care what you're paying me. Cool, you got me a video.
This is easy for me. Nobody can convince me. Like you can't get a famous person. I go against the grain. I'm not like that. I'm not built like that. I
out of here.
Whatever
pictures with celebrities.
No, I don't care. I don't care. Like, there's nothing that a celebrity could say to convince me. Like, whether it's regardless of whatever, you can't get a celebrity to convince me to do anything. Like when celebrities endorse stuff or this or that, I'm like, okay, like I'm away from that. I'm good with that. So no, you can't get anybody to convince me to do any of that. I mean,
if you had two companies trying to hire you, maybe the same pay, and one's trying to lure you in with a video of I don't know, Pat McAfee, Roman Reigns. There you go, two people I think of for you.
No, because I would just sit down with my family and be like, "Hey, what do you guys think is the smartest thing to do?" So, to me that stuff is just I know I'm not.
Give you like a cool jersey too. I don't care. It's a jersey.
No, yeah, I don't care. Like that's why for me this like the last two I just saw because I'm like, who gives a shit about a jersey? And then this one I'm like, who cares about famous people? Like they all put up their pants just like you and I. Their pants might be more expensive. Their underwear might be more expensive, but who gives a crap? So. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be boring for this one, and I apologize. I know I lost this because I don't care about that, but yours is actually not bad. I mean, the dude's worth billions of dollars, so and I don't care about The Rock. That annoys Daniel. That's not me. I don't care. I like The Rock. I think he's I liked.
Then I should say Victor in that because Victor hates his movies.
Oh well, his movies are all the same. You know what? Just because you said The Rock and that annoys Vic, he's probably gonna give me the victory.
I was gonna go with Gilbert here, but I like your stand there, Fernando. I thought you might go with like a John Cena or a Daniel LaRusso or something, just because you say you wanted to get his autograph for his book. Yeah. So, but you know what? I'll give you the point here, Fernando, because you're standing bold. You're going against the grain here. So you get the victory this week just because of that. You stood your ground on this. And so I give you the victory on this one.
I appreciate that. Yeah, no, definitely. But obviously this is another great I love doing rapid fire. It's always fun to jump on and do this. So another victory, but really the winners are the listeners because they get to hear Gilbert and I debate. I know on the pod it's usually Gilbert and Dan going at it, but here it's Dan and I. So or Gilbert and I. So, but again, thank you guys so much for checking it out. Thank you to Vic the producer. Thank you to everybody else. Don't forget to check out Compas on the Beat this week. Don't forget to check out everything else on Compas on the Beat. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your week.